Hi guys, welcome back to lesson 3. So in this lesson we're going to be dealing with string stabs, very common in disco music, and again, like other samples, I hunted around and found some on the net. But I'm going to remake these in a free VST so you learn how to make strings and stabs rather than just pulling in samples where you're not going to learn anything. But to show you what we're shooting for, I do want you to bring in the stabs, or at least have a listen to them. Now there's a few in your work files, we don't use them all. I'll put in just a few extras for you just as a bonus. So let's just have a listen to some of these now. So that's a particularly nice one. I like that one. It's good for the start of the bar. So let's just pull some of these in and try and remake them. We'll just do a couple, we won't do them all, so you get the idea. Don't need to play these over the sampler, so we'll bring them in as audio. So we'll probably just use the first note on that one, turn it down, and see what it sounds like. And that'll be quite nice with a bit of reverb on it. Just quickly do that now. Send, probably try the long one. This is why you have them all set up, so it's really easy to do. Turn it down a little bit, the send. It's probably just a bit much. So we'll remake that in a second, and the other one I'm going to do in this lesson is string sequence 3. That'll be round about here somewhere. Don't know yet of the timing, let's just have a listen. Okay, let's just match the volumes off and add a bit of send on that as well. Might put a bit of delay on this a bit later on down the line as well. Okay, let's touch early, take off the snap. Sounds about right, I think. Let's just try that one more time. That slap bass is really annoying me where it goes too high. Doesn't sound natural. Let's turn those down a bit in volume. Okay, back to the strings. Let's remake this first one here as best we can. So go to your browser and type in BBC Symphony Orchestra Spitfire, and the first result you'll come to here, Spitfire Audio. BBC have given you a whole load of sampled orchestration for free. So it's really good. It says $49 here because these is for lazy people. If you want to get it now, you have to pay $49. But you can do it for free, so you click all free here, and basically you register and you wait for 2 weeks and then they'll send it to you, which is what I did. So it's entirely up to you. Then you end up with a whole orchestration of sounds. So that's what we're going to use. So I'm going to add an instrument track and choose BBC Symphony Orchestra. Do the same once you've got that installed. But we're going to need 2 of these. Add track. So for the stab that we're remaking, I went for violins 2. There's all sorts of instruments you can choose. You can click on the section here and it will load it up, or you can click on the drop down here. And this is the style of the play. So long is a bit obviously too long. Spiccato is probably what we want. Pizzicato sounds is muted. And tremolo is obviously with the tremolo effect on it. So I think we want to go for spiccato on this occasion. Let's just move this up because we're trying to recreate this one here. So let's just program in a MIDI note. I'm going to end up using these samples because I really like the sound of them, but I'm just going to show you how to remake them so you can learn. So it's probably a B. So it's obviously E. It's going to be one of the notes, but it sounds like it's doubled up to me. We need to get rid of the original one. So it just sounds a bit sort of thin at the moment. So I think we need to layer this up with like a B or something. And maybe up as well. Not putting these on the grid, so it sounds a bit more human. Sort of getting there. We also need to match the send to give it a fair chance. So original. Okay, so it's very in the high register, that. Let's just listen to ours. So we're kind of getting there. Let's take off all the low end and add a big boost on the top end. So that's not too bad. It's not going to be exactly the same because it's a completely different instrument. So that's the original one. That's not too bad. And when you play that in the mix, that's going to sound pretty good. So let's just mute everything apart from our brand new one. That sounds alright. It's just a bit loud. Okay, so that's how you remake that one. Obviously it's not exactly the same, but it gets you in the ballpark. I'm just going to go with my original sample. And let's remake this one here. So we'll go on to our da-da-da. Just try and remember that in my head. Da-da-da. So it ends up on this one, also going for violins too. I used two together, I think. I used one on spiccato, but it didn't quite do it. Let's just draw it in a MIDI box. Da-da-da. So that sounds like D or something. Do. Do. It's got to be an E. So something like that. But we need a long note here. Diddle-da. But it doesn't sound right because we need that long note on the end. So let's just combine these, duplicate that, and add a different style on the second one. So let's add tremolo effect for the longer note. And I think we need this to be a little bit higher as well. So let's duplicate this up to D5. And again, I'm not going to have it exactly on the grid, just to make it sound authentic. And we'll see what that sounds like. It's getting better. Let's duplicate that down. So we've got the double layer on the bottom as well. Let's add a bit of send on both of these. Same on this one. Listen to the whole thing. Well, let's listen to the original first. Again, we need the EQ. Take out the bottom end because that sample is really kind of bright. Really bright. So, original. Remake. So we need more low end taken out. We need to bring them down. And that last note is really loud. So let's bring them down. So there we have it. That's the remake. Still need to sort of tame down that last note. But anyway, you get the idea. You can remake using a combination of strings or violins 1, violins 2, and a combination of different styles as well, which is what I did. You've got some extra controls here, which will give you a bit more kind of natural sounds, if you like, as to the way it's played. But I don't want to spend too long on these because I'm not going to be using these anyway. I can use my original samples. Yeah, probably put a bit of delay on that a bit later on, but yeah, sounding good. Just going to get rid of these unwanted VSTs. And obviously there are many other string VSTs out there better than that. There's loads out there which you can pay for. So use any string VST you want when remaking those. I was only using BBC Symphony Orchestra because it's free, but there are better ones out there, of course. Like everything in life, you get what you pay for. Okay guys, that's lesson 3 done, string stabs. Let's go on to a chord progression in the next lesson. Cheers guys, bye bye.